Have you ever stopped to think about the invisible world of signals that's all around us, like right now? From the music in your car to a pilot getting instructions from a control tower, the air is just jam-packed with information. Today, we're going to talk about a tiny, super affordable device that's basically a key to unlock all of it. It's a story of accidental genius, and it all starts with a feeling of pure discovery.
And this quote, it just nails it. That's the exact feeling we're talking about. The moment you plug one of these things in, you're suddenly peeking into a hidden dimension that's been there the whole time. It's just pure discovery. And it's all made possible by one core technology. And that technology is called software-defined radio, or SDR for short. Now, this concept completely flips traditional radio on its head. It takes the power away from complicated, fixed hardware and puts it right into flexible, powerful software on your computer.
So what does that actually mean? Well, picture an old-school radio. It's full of physical parts, mixers, filters, all this stuff. And each one is built to do one specific job. SDR pretty much throws that whole idea out the window. It uses a really simple piece of hardware to just grab the raw radio signals, and then it hands off all the heavy lifting, the tuning, the filtering, the decoding to your computer's processor.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. A traditional radio is built for one thing. Its job is literally baked into its hardware. An FM radio is only ever going to be an FM radio, right? But a software-defined radio, it's a chameleon. With a few clicks and the right software, it can be an FM radio 1 minute, an aircraft scanner the next, and then a satellite receiver after that. Its function is defined by software, which makes it unbelievably versatile.
So this amazing SDR technology existed, but for a long time, it wasn't exactly accessible. It was expensive. But that all changed with the discovery of an unlikely hero, a device that was never, ever intended for this, but ended up changing the game for hobbyists everywhere.
And that hero is the RTL-SDR. The name itself kind of gives you a clue, pointing right to the chip at its heart, the Realtek RTL-2832U. And the story of how this specific chip became the foundation for the most popular SDR in the world is, well, it's pretty fascinating.
You see, these little USB sticks were never created to be powerful radio scanners. Not at all. They were mass-produced as cheap TV tuners, so you could watch digital TV on your laptop. But back in 2012, a group of really clever hardware hackers and developers realized they could bypass the TV part of the chip and get direct access to the raw radio data. This instantly turned a simple TV dongle into a wideband radio receiver. And this number right here, this is the reason this whole revolution happened. Because these things were being made for the TV market, they were incredibly cheap. All of a sudden, for the price of a couple of movie tickets, anyone could get a tool that opened up a huge chunk of the radio spectrum, a capability that just a few years before would have cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Okay, so how does it actually work? How does this little dongle take invisible waves from the air and transform them into audio, images, and data that you can actually see on your screen?
Let's just walk through the signal path. First, the antenna. It's grabbing a whole mess of signals from the air, everything at once. Then, the tuner chip acts like a gatekeeper, selecting just the slice of the spectrum you want to listen to. Let's say the FM radio band. Then comes the real magic in that RTL-2832U chip. It takes that analog signal and converts it into a stream of digital ones and zeros. That raw data gets sent over USB to your computer, and that's where powerful software takes over to do the final decoding. And that last step, the software, that's what gives this tiny device all of its power.
All right, now for the really fun part. We know what it is, we know how it works, so what can you actually do with an RTL-SDR? What kind of secrets are hiding out there in the airwaves?
The absolute best place to start is the simplest one, just tuning into your local FM radio stations. It's the perfect hello world for your SDR. When you tune into a station somewhere between 87.5 and 108 megahertz, and you hear music, you know everything is working perfectly. Okay, once you've got the basics down, you can move on to something way more exciting, like aviation. You can tune into the airband around 118 to 137 megahertz and listen to the real-time chats between pilots and air traffic control. Or, and this is super cool, you can decode the digital ADS-B signals that planes are constantly broadcasting and actually plot their location, speed, and altitude on a live map, just like a professional flight tracker.
And if you want a project with a serious wow factor, you can use your RTL-SDR to literally capture images directly from space. NOAA weather satellites are constantly orbiting over our heads, beaming down images of the Earth. With a decent antenna, you can tune into their signals, right around 137 megahertz, and decode them into real-time pictures of the weather systems over your part of the world. How cool is that? And that's really just scratching the surface. The possibilities are just endless. You can explore public service broadcasts for things like marine traffic or search and rescue, though, always check your local laws on what you're allowed to monitor. You could decode old-school pager messages, receive digital broadcasts, or just use it as a spectrum analyzer to see what's out there. Look, the RTL-SDR is so much more than just a piece of hardware. It's a key. It's a key to a world of exploration and an amazing tool for learning. For a very, very small investment, it gives you a direct line to the invisible infrastructure that powers our entire modern world. So the only real question left is, what will you discover?